Hello, guys. Please stay tuned. Stay tuned. We are going to start off shortly. We want to be able to connect also. We see there are lots of people who want to also connect on YouTube so we can accommodate more people. Please stay tuned. Thank you. Okay, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. It's a pleasure to have us on. My name is Dr. Bonaventure Buanugo, and a fellow and a co-investor like so many of us. Just to do a contact check, if you can hear me, if you can hear me clearly, just type yes on the chat. If you can hear me. Perfect. Amazing. I want to sincerely welcome all of us. We have a lowdown of agenda for today, so I'm going to itemize the agenda just for time's sake, so we are able to spend our time.
I think your audio.
Yeah, my audio is what? Hello?
Mr. Tomiwa, I think it's on your side. I can hear him clearly.
Okay. Okay, thank you for the reconfirmation. Right, so just to itemize the agenda for today, like we sent before, the number one is introduction, and then a welcome speech by Dr. Chinwe. The second is our journey so far. The third on our agenda is the US legal team that we have been able to put together to pursue the case for our recovery. Number four, synergy with the French. There's an existing synergy with the French Omega Pro team and also the France lawyers, which are going to be introduced to the entire team today. And the next is the journey ahead as we welcome our leaders back into the fold. And then the fifth
Hello,
and the last
Bona. Hello, Dr. Bona.
Number four, synergy yes, with sir. the French.
I think your two devices are giving echo.
And also the
maybe you should mute one or you log out from one. There are echoes. Whatever you are saying is repeating again over and over and over again.
Okay, is it better now? Is it better now? Mr. Tomiwa, is it better now?
Yes, I think it's better now. You can go ahead now.
Okay, thank you. So just to recap quickly. So the first is welcoming everyone by Dr. Chinwe. The next is our journey so far. The third is the US legal team we put together. The next is synergy with the French Omega Pro team and the introduction of the France lawyers. We have a an existing synergy with the French team. Then the next is the journey ahead as we welcome our leaders back into the fold and our members. The last is question and answer. So we are going to start with the welcoming by Dr. Chinwe. If you are there, can you unmute and then let us welcome us so that the next, which is the journey so far, can be taken by CDD. Thank you, Dr. Chinwe. Over to you.
Okay. Yeah, thank you, Dr. Bona. And thank you, everybody, for having me on this call. Once again, I appreciate everybody's presence here. I hope you can all hear me, that I'm audible enough. Can somebody just say yes? Okay, all right, yes. Thank you so much for that. All right, thank you so much. And so I sincerely appreciate everybody's presence here. It's not taken for granted. And of course, as one big happy family, sometimes we'll have challenges. And today, that challenge has brought us to gathering here today again as a family to look at how we're going to solve our problems and of course, move forward. Okay, because we believe that as a family, we have discussions together, we have deliberations together, and of course, we want every person here to make reasonable inputs on the way forward. Of course, we all know that we have something confronting us, which we have never had in all our, over the years. We've not had this kind of challenge before, so it's something that we are not used to. And of course, we're looking for solution to this. And we don't have, the leadership alone cannot do it alone. That's why we're actually asking every person here who will be talking to make reasonable inputs. As so far, a lot of work has been put in place, but at the same time, we'd like to inform everybody, for those who don't have first-hand information on what has been going on, because we hear a lot of stories going on and all of that. So this is the right time to put everything in a clear perspective for everyone to understand what is happening, just in case you do not know. And of course, the steps that have been taken so far, to ensure that we are able to recover our funds. The Nigerian team is not relenting. We're committed to working with everybody on this call. We're committed to working with and so it has become very important that we all should work as a team and of course, get a lasting solution to this. However, I want to also appreciate a lot of people on this and even some of our friends who have been in other teams, but today they have deemed necessary to also join us here to make sure that we were able to get to our destination. Our destination is looking at our fund. That's actually what the challenge is. But I'm not going to dwell on all of that because already we don't want to go there explaining what the problem is. We're already the problem. What we're here for is solution. What we are here for today is solution. So if you have a solution, if you have a contribution, please, I will appreciate that we make a meaningful contribution. And of course, we should also be careful. Somebody said I can't hear anything. I don't know. Can anybody hear me? I see some people say they can't hear me. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So what we want is meaningful contribution. I also want to use this opportunity to thank so many people who have. We have the black diamonds, the blue diamonds, the diamonds themselves, the platinum leaders, the gold executive, the silver executive, every one of you, and also even normal investors have also made contribution, on the way forward. So we want to say a very big thank you to, of course, we're still open to, of course, more information, more collaboration, more ideas, most importantly, because we've still not gotten the final solution. But with your contribution, your ideas, I'm sure we're going to make a very positive, we're going to go a long way, okay, to helping us to achieve success. And so that being said, I'd like to introduce the leader of the Nigerian team who has been working in collaboration with other leaders as well to finding a solution ever since we heard about this, unexpected announcement of our fund being frozen and, we now having access to our fund after the meeting. So the leadership being Ambassador Donna Onoja with other people have done so much so far, but we want to make sure that other people get to also hear what the journey so far. So, Mr. Daniel, if you're right here, please take it up from here and explain to the House the journey so far, where we are right now, and of course, well, how we started the journey to this recovery.
Thank you so much.
Sir.
Thank you so much, Dr. Chinwe. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, friends and business partners. Everyone on this call, I'd like you to understand that we, the leadership of the Nigerian team of Omega Pro, we feel your pains, just like we also feel the same pain as members as well, who also have a stake in the business. And from the very first day this unfortunate incident happened in November last year, we've not relented. We've always been working tirelessly to ensure that every member here gets that we have a proper closure on this. And in between November last year and August ending, we all were hoping and expecting that the company will do the needful as promised. What was the needful promised? That they were going to find a way to resolve the issue and we'll be back again in business. So that had always been our thoughts. We had never thought that we would be here today looking for alternate ways to maybe forcefully recover the money or negotiate, how to get the money. We never thought about this. We thought initially that we were going to have like a smooth recovery or smooth continuation of the business when or if the company was able to find a solution. Until September, when the founders of the company invited the different delegates from different markets and countries to come to Dubai for them to discuss. We were expecting again that it was going to be a payment terms or a payment plan that was going to be discussed. So we never expected that the shocking news would be what will be discussed. And after that meeting, which ended, I think on 10th or on 12th, no, it started on 10th of September or so, and ended around between 18th to 20th of September. When the delegate from Nigeria returned, he came back with a shocking news to say that monies was not disbursed and also the problems had not been resolved yet. Instead, that there were also compounded problem that apart from the initial problem initially communicated, the problem compounded further. This became a shocking news. This also led us to start looking for means, let's call it self-help. Instead of us waiting for the company to do the needful, we've waited so long, the waiting is no longer bearable. We had decided from September to look for ways by ourselves, alternate ways by ourselves. And what are some of the things we have done? Between that, before that time or between that September to date, we, the Nigerian team, have consulted different people, different markets, all right? And one of the people that we consulted, if you can see with dates, I'm usually not the person who show private messages, but for the sake of some of the news flying around, this is 29th of September. In between the consultations, there is a leader mentioned, Christian, there is another mentioned, Anthony Valentino, all right, that we had been trying to do some meetings here and there, put heads together to see if or how we can make this, okay, that we can get a solution for the team. Actually, we had spoken with more than 10 different people, like 10 different people, all right, everywhere around the world to try to see if we can find a solution together, like common solution together, all right? So, ladies and gentlemen, all of those consultations led us to opening different groups, consulting different people. You can see this is 16th of October. And actually what led to we opening this group on 16th of October was because there was a group opened before that 16th of October. There was a group opened maybe 4th of October where we started communicating. You can see 4th of October 2023 where we were discussing. And in between our conversation on 4th of October, I mentioned to them that I'm right now on a Zoom called a law firm in California. This was my message. You can see Daniel. This was my message reported by Valerie in the group. Okay, they wanted me to jump on a Zoom with them, and I said they should give me some time because I was on a Zoom with a law firm in California, USA. Now, why are we talking about the journey so far? This is maybe important for people to understand that a lot of work actually happened behind the scene. There was a lot of work, all right, behind the scene that a lot of people didn't see, or a lot of people needed to have idea of. And somehow we couldn't communicate every step of the communication, or every stage of the solution we're looking for. We couldn't communicate it, and that was what we apologized for. And we said going forward, we're going to make it better, that we're going to do it in a better way. And thank God that in the past few days to weeks, we've been having series of meetings back. And why we were talking about our journey so far is so that we would understand that we had checked the Australian market, what they are doing. We had checked also the South Korea market. We had spoken with the Middle East market. In France alone, there are 3 different groups, 3 different teams of people who had grouped themselves based on ideology and based on vision and action plan. Okay, and all 3 groups are working separately, independently, and at the same time, okay, so that if one strategy doesn't work, the other strategy work. Like I said, based on vision, based on strategy, and based on ideology. 3 different groups in one country. Now, we have also spoken with the Latin American markets to see what they are doing over there also. All of this between September to date. There was never a week, there was never any 3 to 4 days without all of these investigations, all of these partnership calls, all of these inquiry consultations, etc. As we are speaking with the different markets, we are consulting senior lawyers, international lawyers, we are consulting intelligence people in different intelligence agencies and all of that, all in a bid to help us find a meaningful solution, okay, in the right direction that would help us recover the money. The goal is to help us recover the money, okay? Now, after all of these consultations back and forth, we finally found a group of people somewhere in France, 1 out of the 3 groups in France, who also share the same ideology as us, who also have like the same vision and the same goal and objective of going for the money. And going for the money means to get the money back, or get our monies back, so that our members can receive what they had deposited, okay? Now, on this group, we have a gentleman and a lady, okay? We have a gentle lady and a gentleman, in all fairness to the lady, all right? So these people were heavily instrumental, and they are still instrumental in our search for a solution for this approach, or this way, how we want to get the money. Talking about the action plan, talking about the objective, and talking about the attitude, okay, of the people in the forefront of this battle. We found a possible place of partnership and alignment, and that's the reason why we have invited them over on this call, so that they can speak with us today. Directly, we would hear from the horse's mouth the approach, the action plan, and of course, we can read their attitude as human beings, and we can reason out by ourselves, okay, if this is a good plan. Because we had this meeting with the same set of people some days ago, about 3 days ago, 2:30 p.m., all the diamonds and and that's the reason why we said the entire house would also need to come and listen to them. Without saying more than this, okay, without much ado, I want to sincerely welcome on this call Mrs. Joanna Botman, and also we have Mr. Frank Alexander. They are both here on this call. Mrs. Joanna, please can you please unmute and just say hello to our people? By the way, Joanna is also from Nigeria, but she's married to a Frenchman and she lives over there in France. Mrs. Joanna, over to you, please.
Good evening, everybody. I hope you can see me. Let me check my camera.
Yes, we can see you and we can hear you clearly.
Okay, thank you.
Amazing. So, hello, Frank. How are you? Frank, can you maybe speak French to him? Frank, are you there?
Bonjour, Franck, est-ce que vous êtes là? Vous pouvez mettre votre micro?
Ah, c'est bon.
Bah, voilà. Bonsoir.
Bonsoir tout le monde.
Good evening, everyone.
Nice to meet you.
Same here.
Thank you so much.
J'ai bien
Thank
dit.
you. Thanks for coming, Frank. How are you?
Ah oui, ça va bien. Thank you. Good.
Yeah. Thanks. Okay, guys. So here on this call is Frank. And Joanna, please, you're going to help with the translation.
Okay.
Now I want Frank to tell us who he is and to tell us his background, what he does in everyday life, or like his background. You understand what I mean?
D'accord. Bonsoir, Franck.
Bonsoir.
Moi, c'est Johanna. J'habite en France. Je suis nigérienne aussi. Donc, on aimerait bien que vous nous parliez un peu de vous, ce que vous faites et comment vous pouvez nous aider dans cette situation que nous nous trouvons.
Alors, quand vous voulez dire ce que je fais par rapport à l'association ou de ma vie professionnelle?
Ce que vous voulez dire, oui.
Alors, déjà qui je suis, donc j'habite dans le sud de la France.
So Frank says he lives in the south of France.
Donc, je suis chef d'entreprise.
He's a business owner.
Voilà. Et donc, essentiellement, je commercialise des produits immobiliers au travers de réseaux.
Okay, so he works in, how do you call that? In housing. He buys and sells houses.
Voilà, à Dubaï, au Sénégal, à Bali, un peu partout, quoi.
Internationally.
Voilà. Et donc, j'ai découvert Omega Pro en avril 2022.
So he discovered Omega Pro in April 2022.
Voilà. Donc, j'ai pas eu le temps de faire le x1. J'ai pas pu récupérer mon argent.
Donc, he didn't have the opportunity to get his, to even make the first round of his profits back.
Et donc, j'ai attendu pendant plusieurs mois, comme tout le monde, de savoir ce qu'il en était, jusqu'à découvrir au mois de septembre que peut-être on ne récupérerait pas notre argent.
So he waited like everybody else to see what will happen. And in September, he realized that maybe we will not be able to recover our money under normal circumstances.
Voilà. Donc, j'ai un passé où j'étais dans les services de renseignement français.
So he worked with the French Secret Service before.
Donc, je sais comment se passe une procédure dans notre pays ou même à l'international. Et donc, j'ai voulu mettre à contribution, j'ai voulu amener mes services par rapport à la communauté d'Omega Pro, à savoir que quand j'ai vu des avocats arriver qui demandaient 400 €, 600 € pour être défendus, pour moi, c'était pas assez crédible et c'était pas assez puissant pour qu'on puisse avoir des résultats probants.
Okay, so Frank has worked in the French Secret Service, sort of. So he knows how things work within our country, within France, and internationally, how to recover sums and, how things are done behind the scenes. So when he saw lawyers coming up asking for hundreds of euros, he thought that maybe he can provide a service according to his experience so that he can help us to find a way out.
Et donc, quand j'ai vu les avocats sortir de partout comme des champignons, je me suis dit, bon, on s'est peut-être fait avoir une fois, on va peut-être pas se faire avoir une deuxième fois par des avocats.
D'accord.
Donc j'ai contacté un cabinet d'avocats qui est à Paris, qui est spécialiste de la blockchain, qui est spécialiste des nouvelles technologies, qui maîtrise parfaitement tout le monde, tout l'univers d'Omega Pro.
So so when he saw that various lawyers were proposing their services, he thought to himself, we have already lost money once. Let's not put ourselves in a more difficult situation. So he contacted lawyers that he knows in Paris that know about blockchain and all these things, so that we can find a solution with people who know exactly what they're talking about.
Et j'avais conscience que le seul moyen de récupérer quelque chose, si on peut récupérer quelque chose, c'est d'être assez nombreux et avoir assez de budget pour aller jusqu'au bout de la procédure. Parce qu'aujourd'hui, il y a beaucoup d'avocats qui proposent des procédures, mais quand on voit le nombre de personnes qu'ils ont réussi à connecter, pour moi, le budget n'est pas assez important pour pouvoir tenir dans la procédure. Donc, en fait, la procédure va s'arrêter en cours et les gens perdront encore de l'argent. Donc, l'objectif, ça a été de fédérer au maximum par le biais d'une association.
Okay, so he saw that the propositions we have had so far require funds and require a volume of people who would adhere to this method of getting our money back, because this is going to be a very long process. So it requires a lot of people to be on board, because it's going to take a long time. And we need to be many of us in a sort of like an association, so that the procedure can go on for a long time and not stop halfway.
Voilà, donc en fait, on a une stratégie avec l'association Capital qui est d'aller chercher les fonds pour pouvoir les redistribuer. Nous, ça ne nous intéresse pas de porter plainte contre les dirigeants d'Omega Pro, contre Paolo, je ne sais pas, peu importe. L'objectif, c'est de retrouver l'argent pour pouvoir le redistribuer. Et donc, nous allons porter une plainte contre X, parce que nous ne savons pas qui est responsable, parce qu'en fait, on a beaucoup d'informations qui nous remontent. Certaines sont vraies, d'autres sont fausses, mais à ce stade-là, on ne sait pas faire la différence. Donc,
OK. Je vais traduire au fur et à mesure, sinon je vais oublier des choses importantes.
D'accord.
So, he's saying that the main objective that we should have in mind is to be able to recover the money and distribute it to those who invested, because the main aim is not to maybe take Paolo to court or whoever it is to court, because we don't really know who is responsible. So in France, there's what we call, you make a case against X. That's not a particular person, but against whoever is involved. And if we do it that way, we'll be going towards getting the money back and not necessarily attacking a person directly. And that will be more productive.
Voilà. Donc, avant de lancer une procédure, j'ai proposé de faire ce qu'on appelle des préinscriptions, où les gens n'ont rien à payer. C'est juste pour savoir combien de personnes étaient prêtes à nous rejoindre et avec des cotisations, voir si on avait assez de capital.
Okay. So, right now, what he wants us to do is to do what we call in French pre-inscription. That is a pre-registration. So nobody is going to pay anything yet. It's just so that people can register their interest in joining this association, so we know the volume of people we have behind us to carry this action, so that when we start calling for funds to carry the action, we know we have enough people to go the long route, because it's going to be a long process.
Donc, on a lancé un bulletin de préinscription il y a un peu plus de 15 jours.
En France ou ici?
En France, et puis on a eu des personnes du Bénin, du Congo, du Nigeria, d'Allemagne, de Suisse, de Belgique, plusieurs pays.
So what he has succeeded in doing is to launch like a general form, so that anybody who is interested in pursuing this procedure as an association, as a group, can register. So I asked him if this form is only for French people. He said he started in France, but we have people joining from Congo, from Benin, from all over, from Nigeria. So the more people, the more impactful it will be.
Au jour d'aujourd'hui, on est plus de 3000 personnes préinscrites avec un budget de près de 450 000 euros.
So today there are 3,000 people registered with combien?
450 000 euros.
So that is 450,000 euros. C'est combien d'inscriptions, pardon?
Alors, c'est ce que j'allais dire maintenant. Avec des inscriptions, donc j'ai proposé aux avocats des inscriptions à palier, en fait, en fonction de l'investissement de chacun.
D'accord. Okay, so now we have 3,000 people already who have joined this action, this association, which is a total of 450,000 euros now. So I asked him, so what is the contribution? He said it depends on the amount of the investment that each person has. So if you invested a lot in Omega Pro, then you'll have to pay a little bit more than someone who had less in Omega Pro.
Voilà. Et donc, les adhésions, donc j'ai proposé au cabinet d'avocats que tous ceux qui ont mis moins de 3 000 euros, qui ont acheté pour moins de 3 000 euros de licence, ne payent que 65 euros d'adhésion.
Je vais traduire ça. So what they have decided is people who have put in to Omega Pro up to 3,000 euros, not more than that, will pay combien?
65 euros en dessous de 3 000 euros.
Will pay 65 euros as their own registration fee.
De 3 000.
Joanna, maybe we talk about the action plan and strategy.
I'm listening.
Je continue ou pas? Je continue?
Oui, il veut que vous parlez de quelque chose en particulier, mais ça a coupé en fait. Sorry, we can't hear you anymore.
Je vais finir les adhésions, puis après par rapport à ce que Daniel lui demande.
He's going to finish talking about this association registration. Then we can jump to another subject because we can't hear you anymore in any case.
Voilà. Yes, what I mean, can you hear me now?
Yes.
I'm here. Yes, what I said is I'm going to ask like straight questions, okay? So that you can provide straight answers. This way, then we are able to manage the time directly, okay?
Okay. Il dit qu'il va poser les questions directement pour qu'on donne les questions directes. Parce que en fait, tu sais, les gens ils utilisent en fait leur téléphone, les datas, c'est pas comme en France, donc comme ça, les réunions vont être plus courtes.
D'accord. En tout cas, je serai entièrement transparent et je répondrai à toutes les questions. De 3 001 à 10 000, c'est 150 euros.
From 3,000 to de combien?
10 000 euros.
Joanna,
yes?
You didn't tell him. I said I want to ask like straight questions, okay? Then you just interpret for him the questions. Provide the answer, yes.
OK. En fait, il veut qu'on fait le format un peu différemment. Lui, il va poser les questions directement et je vais traduire et vous allez donner les réponses et je vais traduire.
Si vous voulez.
Okay. So my question is, how is he related or connected to Omega Pro for him to have this level of motivation to start this recovery process?
Donc, il dit, quelle est votre relation avec Omega Pro? C'est quoi votre motivation pour commencer, pour faire ces procédures de...
Alors, moi, je n'ai aucune relation avec Omega Pro. Je ne connais pas, je n'étais pas un leader chez Omega Pro. J'étais simple diamant.
D'accord. He said he has nothing to do with Omega Pro. He was not even a leader. He was just a diamond.
Ma motivation, c'est que moi, j'ai mis de l'argent que je n'ai pas récupéré. Ma famille a mis de l'argent, mes amis ont mis de l'argent, et puis des personnes qui nous ont fait confiance.
So his motivation is that he put his money, his family put in money, his friends put in money, and then other people put in money. So if he can help with the knowledge that he has, he's willing to do so.
Good. So we want to know, has he done something like this before, maybe as an individual or in a team? Has he done any kind of fund recovery process before?
Il veut savoir si vous avez déjà, en tant qu'individu ou dans un groupe, récupéré des fonds qui étaient perdus quelque part.
Alors, moi non, parce que ce n'est pas ma spécialité, moi, ce n'est pas mon métier. Par contre, le cabinet
he said
d'avocats...
him personally, no, because it's not his job.
Par contre, le cabinet d'avocats Beaubourg Avocats, c'est un cabinet qui est hyper puissant en France, qui a eu des très gros dossiers dont je n'ai pas le droit de dire les noms, parce qu'il y a des procédures qui sont en cours, mais ils ont récupéré des grosses sommes d'argent par ailleurs.
But like I've introduced him and his background in the Secret Service in France, this how do I say, legal firm that he wants to connect us with is a legal firm that has been known to handle big cases like this and have succeeded. And he cannot tell us their name because for confidentiality reasons, but he knows this firm and he knows what they can do.
Okay,
et pour avoir plus de poids dans la procédure, on va utiliser des influenceurs, on va utiliser la presse et on va utiliser la télévision.
Okay, and to make this more impactful, we're going to use influencers, we're going to use the press, we're going to use the television. We're going to bring it up to the forefront so that it will not be just something that is happening in the background. We're going to bring the case up to the forefront.
Okay, we want to know what is the, generally, what is the success rate of the approach that we're talking about?
Donc, ils veulent savoir qu'est-ce que c'est le taux de réussite de cette procédure.
Alors, personne ne peut le dire. Celui qui vous dirait c'est sûr, c'est un menteur. Celui qui vous dirait on ne peut rien récupérer, c'est un menteur aussi.
So this is a question that really can't be answered straightforward, because somebody who will come and tell you 100% everything will be successful is lying. And somebody who will tell you we can't get anything is lying too. So it's just something that we have to go and see how it goes.
Ce que je peux dire, c'est que le cabinet d'avocats connaît bien la blockchain et on a déjà travaillé sur les différents wallets d'Omega Pro. On a vu le parcours de l'argent. On sait où était la plateforme.
Ok, je vais traduire juste là.
Ouais.
So this company has already worked in cases that had to do with blockchain, and they have already studied how money is moving within Omega Pro, and they see how it's moving. Vous pouvez continuer?
Donc en fait, les avocats sont persuadés qu'on va retrouver de l'argent.
So ils sont persuadés, c'est ça?
Ils sont persuadés.
So these lawyers are convinced that we can be able to trace our funds and get them back.
Parce que les dirigeants d'Omega Pro ont utilisé l'argent soit pour du trading, soit pour acheter des actifs, de l'immobilier, soit pour mettre sur Go, soit pour mettre sur Pulse, soit pour mettre ailleurs. Et donc, on va faire une action sur toutes les sociétés qui sont autour d'Omega Pro.
So, because why they say that is because they can trace from the founders of Omega Pro or the people directly related to Omega Pro what they buy, in housing or blockchain or whatever transactions they have been doing can be traced. And then from there, we can be able to recover funds.
Okay.
Donc, plus on sera nombreux et plus on aura de budget, plus on aura de chances de récupérer de l'argent.
So the more we are to join this action, the bigger the budget, so that we can go forward and get the results that we want.
Okay. All right. I think this is enough question from my side, so that maybe if there are people also who may want to ask him some specific questions, maybe they can raise their hand and ask questions. From what I have been able to gather, blockchain intelligence is part of this strategy, and also international lawyers. Does he want to tell us about these lawyers? Where are they? Are they in France? Are they in US? Are they in somewhere around the world? And
donc, où sont ces avocats?
Ils sont à Paris. Vous pouvez taper sur Internet, vous tapez Beaubourg Avocat. Ils ont fait l'ENA, ils ont beaucoup travaillé aux États-Unis. Ils ont travaillé sur beaucoup de dossiers, donc c'est Beaubourg. Je l'écris sur le mur. Là, si
vous pouvez écrire dans le chat. Vous pouvez m'écrire à moi directement. Oui, vous écrivez dans le chat, mais le chat va vite en fait.
Beaubourg Avocat, voilà. Hop.
So he says they are in Paris, and he's about to write the name of the law firm in the chat here. He said they are in Paris and they have handled lot of cases. It's a company that is known.
Alors, Beaubourg Avocat, c'est le spécialiste. Et donc, dans chaque pays, ils vont avoir un autre cabinet d'avocats en soutien. Et c'est eux qui vont alimenter dans tous les pays les cabinets d'avocats pour faire une procédure dans tous les pays.
D'accord. So, Bobo Avocat is going to be like the home team. They're the ones who liaise with other lawyers in other countries and will continue to do their research wherever they need to do. So.
Donc, ils sont à Paris. Hein.
All right, just summary of what has been discussed. Number one, he has a background in Secret Service in France, more like something like FBI, like that.
Mm-hmm.
And right now he's in business, and he also was in Omega Pro as a diamond. Please confirm.
Donc, vous êtes dans le service de renseignement, vous faites Omega Pro en tant que client et maintenant, vous travaillez à votre compte. C'est pour vérifier. C'est bien ça?
Oui. Oui.
Yes, that's correct.
All right. Also, the approach is number one, target the blockchain and then try to find out the content of the wallet and to try to get the monies. Is that correct?
Donc, la stratégie, c'est de regarder dans le blockchain pour voir ce qui se passe dans le wallet pour récupérer les fonds. Est-ce que c'est bien cela?
Oui, parce que le départ, en fait, ça part d'un wallet. Quand nous avons acheté les licences, nous avons versé sur des wallets.
Oui.
Et donc, le wallet est entièrement transparent. La blockchain est transparente. Donc, on va suivre l'argent. On a déjà trouvé le parcours. On a déjà commencé à travailler. On a trouvé des lessiveuses. Et donc,
lessiveuses, vous dites?
Oui, lessiveuses. C'est pour brouiller les pistes du wallet, en fait.
Ah, d'accord. Vous avez trouvé ça aussi.
Voilà.
D'accord, je vais juste traduire ça. So he said, yes, that is the strategy. Because what they have done is that whatever transactions happen on the blockchain, you can actually trace them back. And even though they might try to like scatter the piece so you don't find out, it is still possible to trace and find where the money has gone because we all bought money into a wallet. So it's traceable.
Et on a trouvé aussi que la plateforme d'Omega Pro n'était pas que sur OVH, elle était sur un autre support. Donc pour l'instant, je ne peux pas le divulguer.
D'accord.
Et donc, on va faire des saisies de tout ça.
Okay, so they have also found out in what they have already started researching on his own personal note that Omega Pro was not only in OVH. You remember OVH that burnt in Strasbourg? That was not only in OVH, but there was another place where Omega Pro funds were being worked on. So they're also looking into that. Anywhere that Omega Pro money is found, they're looking into those places.
Okay, does that mean they already have started finding out some wallets with money or some places where monies are? Is that what he's trying to say? That they have already
Est-ce que cela veut dire que vous avez déjà trouvé les endroits où il y a les fonds ou les wallets existants? Est-ce que cela veut dire?
On a trouvé des endroits où il y a des fonds. Maintenant, il faut aller jusqu'au bout de la chaîne. Et pour aller jusqu'au bout de la chaîne, il faut une procédure, il faut un juge.
D'accord. So they have found places where money can be found from Omega Pro, but we have to go to the end. For that, you need a judge, you need a procedure. And that is why we need to form this association and work as a force.
Okay. Thank you so much for this time. So I can see that there are hands also raised. People want to ask questions. There are about 14 hands in total. I don't know how many questions. Maybe I'll let the moderators, Mr. Bona and Dr. Chinwe, I'll let them have the floor now. Thank you so much.
Welcome.
Thank you, Frank. Please tell him that there are questions to be asked by the audience. All the
Merci, Franck. Il y a des gens qui veulent poser des questions, donc on va être là encore un petit moment.
Oui, vas-y.
All right. Okay. Thank you so very much. Thank you so much, sir. We appreciate your coming to join us tonight.
Merci. Nous apprécions que vous êtes là avec nous ce soir.
Thank you so much again. We are going to take like 3 questions randomly from the hands up. So please, I would love to know who is asking the question. So can you just change, if you have an initials or a nickname, kindly put your real name so we can call. So we have one name I'm seeing right here. I'm seeing...
Donc, il y a 3 questions qu'on va répondre aux 3 questions.
Okay, so I'm seeing first, oh shit, I think this is going, okay, I'm seeing Ambassador Godwin. Let me quickly send you, let me quickly send you this to unmute yourself. Where is that now? Ask to unmute. So Ambassador Godwin, Emmanuel, I just asked you to unmute. So you just ask the question and it answers. Ambassador Godwin.
If he's not there, can we move to someone else because of time?
Okay, I'm seeing Joshua Olominu. Let me ask you to unmute. Joshua Olominu. Yes, Joshua, go ahead.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Okay, this meeting is appreciated. And my real question is, for the leadership of Omega Pro, are we having the totality of the amount that people have invested? Because we are just talking of engaging a lawyer, or we had one talk to all the
Can we limit it to just this man ask questions about association capital? Then we have room for other questions. So they will leave us and we continue our meeting.
Okay, no problem. He has said what he wants to do. He has made some research. According to him, it's also a diamond. And well, let's go ahead. I have a question for the leadership.
Okay, thank you.
En fait, les questions, c'était pas par rapport à ce que vous avez dit, donc on va choisir quelqu'un d'autre pour une question.
D'accord.
Please let it be question to association capital and not question. We have our own questions that we are going to take, but this should be directed to association capital only. So I'm going to take, I can see the Chief Tony Ebubedike. Let me ask, oh, sorry, Chief Tony Ebubedike. Let me ask you to unmute.
I have unmuted.
Oh, sorry. Unmute again, sorry.
Okay, I have unmuted. Thank you very much for the opportunity. The question I have for him is this. Given that with the fear that we've been burnt right now, can they do the situation where we sign a contract with them? If we win this case or they win this case, then they can remove that money instead of them asking us to pay upfront again. Where some people may be feeling that we may be, scammed again the second time. Can we do where we sign something? If they win, then they take the money from there before they give us our proceeds.
Should I ask him?
Is my question?
Yes.
OK. Alors, il y a quelqu'un qui pose la question, est-ce que ça sera possible que la procédure commence et à la fin, quand on a récupéré les sous, que le montant qui a été utilisé soit retenu? Parce qu'il y a certaines personnes qui veulent sentir que c'est encore un autre... ça va être encore un moyen de perdre encore d'argent. Et voilà, est-ce que c'est possible que ça soit payé quand on a récupéré les fonds?
Non, alors ce n'est pas possible parce que le cabinet d'avocats pour travailler, il a besoin de fonds.
Oui, he said it's not possible because the law firm, for them to work and get people behind to do what they need to do, they need funds for that.
Alors, et c'est aussi pour ça qu'on a d'abord fait des préinscriptions, puisque là, on a déposé les statuts de l'association à la préfecture de Paris.
Mm-hmm. So this is why we have done a pre-registration. And in France, you cannot just form an association like that. You have to create the association legally, and they have already deposited the permission to make this association in Paris. And for that, this is why they have created this form of pre-inscription to see who is ready to go the long route.
Et donc, il va y avoir un numéro au registre national des associations.
So this association is going to be registered in the National Register of Associations.
Ensuite, il y aura un numéro INSEE.
And it's going to have a normal, in French, we call it an INSEE number. That is a number that is attributed to every association and every company in this country.
Et ensuite, il va y avoir un compte en banque ouvert en ligne pour les adhésions.
And it's going to have a bank account as well, this association.
Cette association, en France, on appelle ça une association loi 1901.
So in France, this is called, there's association under the 1901, c'est ça?
Voilà, yes.
In France, it's called an association under the 1901 law. It's a statute.
Et donc, dans ce type d'association, le bureau ne peut pas être rémunéré.
So, with this kind of, with the status of this kind of association, the office or the office holders or the people who are running the association cannot be paid.
Voilà. Et donc, on va embaucher 2 salariés.
Ils peuvent ou ils ne peuvent pas être payés?
Ils ne peuvent pas être payés, ils n'ont pas le droit d'être payés.
OK. Mais vous dites on va embaucher des salariés?
Qui ne sont pas dans le bureau de l'association. Ceux qui dirigent l'association, ce sont des bénévoles.
Ah, d'accord. So in the statutes of this association, it's not like a business. It's really an association registered with the government, and people who work there cannot be paid. Everybody is a volunteer. So whoever is going to do work for this association has to be paid outside. So this is where, you know, we have outside people coming to work and they need to get paid.
Donc en fait, il va y avoir deux salariés qu'on va embaucher pour travailler avec chaque adhérent de l'association pour récupérer les documents, pour donner aux avocats qui vont donner au juge.
So this association is going to hire 2 people that will be responsible for getting all the details from each member of the association, handing it over to the lawyers, and the lawyers will hand it over to the judge.
Okay.
Ensuite,
okay, thank you.
Ensuite, il y a un conseil d'administration. Il y a un conseil d'administration de 12 personnes dans l'association. Et demain,
in this association, there will be a board of 12 members.
Voilà. Et c'est le conseil d'administration qui nomme le bureau. C'est-à-dire que demain, ça peut être un autre président que moi qui fera tourner l'association.
So this council of 12 people are the ones who decide who is going to preside or be the president of this association. So it can change. It can be somebody else tomorrow. It can be him today and somebody else tomorrow.
Et j'ai proposé à Daniel de rentrer dans le conseil d'administration s'il y a beaucoup de gens du Nigeria qui viennent.
So he has proposed to CDD, Daniel Onoja, to join the administrative council if there are a lot of people that are joining the association from Nigeria.
If he want. Mais c'est beaucoup de travail fait par des bénévoles.
It's a lot of work and it's going to be done by je suis encore confondu là parce que vous parlez de bénévoles et puis vous parlez de salariés. C'est quoi les rôles des deux?
Le salarié, c'est un employé, c'est quelqu'un qu'on emploie, qui travaille dans l'association, mais qui n'est pas dans le bureau de l'association.
D'accord, okay. So we're going to have 2 different cases. So we have the council of the association, which is 12 members, and the presidency of this membership, the presidency of the association can change. And then the association will hire 2 people whose job is to collect information and transmit to the lawyers. But the people who are members, board members, will I say, of this association are actually volunteers, like himself, like Mr. Onoja, or whoever else is part of it.
Okay, let's go ahead with other questions, please. There are many hands up. Abona, please do fast. Just take randomly, please. Serially. Just take serially. Let's go quickly, please. Okay, Mr. Fakeye from the UK. I've just asked you to unmute.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I do have serious concerns regarding. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I do have serious concerns, and my concerns are: 1, Omega Pro was a company that I'm using the past tense because it's no longer trading at the moment. Was a company incorporated in the Caribbean. I'll put it that way, and also they are registered partly in the UK. Now, forming this association to get money or to recover the money in the company, I don't see it as being effective, being that this company was not actually registered in Paris, but it was registered outside of France. So how effective with this action to recover money, how effective is it going to work when we are not raising associations in the UK or in the, permit me the name in the other country? I can't remember it by heart now. Okay. So what kind of approach is that going to do? Then secondly, how can they have gotten enough funds, as he said, 450,000 euros. Is that amount of money not enough to kickstart the recovery action plan? And we then see what actions, the processes they're going to follow to recover. So I think it might be another way of putting more money down the line, whereby there is no assurance to recover the money. So
okay, let me ask him those questions.
In a nutshell, I would say the most effective way is to attack Omega Pro from where the company has been incorporated, one in the UK and in the other country, every country where they have a kind of incorporation particulars. I see that being effective rather than going through it's just like saying now you want to attack a company that is not domiciled in a particular country. I don't see that as an effective way.
Okay, let me ask the question.
Thank you.
Donc, le monsieur voulait savoir, il dit que Omega Pro, en fait, son inscription n'est pas en France, c'est dans le Caribien, dans le Caraïbe et aussi, je crois, au Royaume-Uni. Donc, il se demande si c'est efficace, en fait, de le prendre en justice à partir d'un pays où ils ne sont pas inscrits. Ça, c'est sa première question.
Alors.
La deuxième question, c'est que, donc, vous avez dit que 450 000 euros ont déjà été récoltés. Donc, est-ce que ces 450 euros déjà, ça ne suffit pas déjà de commencer la procédure?
Alors, la première chose concernant le fait qu'ils ont peut-être de l'argent dans des pays, peut-être des paradis fiscaux. Aujourd'hui, la France peut aller chercher de l'argent partout, peut aller chercher des personnes partout. Il y a des conventions entre les pays. On peut même aller à Dubaï aujourd'hui, faire des perquisitions et saisir des comptes.
OK, je vais juste dire. He said the fact that they have money. En fait, sa question, c'était l'incorporation, enfin, l'inscription de l'entreprise n'est pas en France. Est-ce que ça, c'est pas un frein?
Non, c'est pas un frein.
D'accord, OK, je vais expliquer ça.
Ce qui est important, c'est là où se trouvent les victimes. C'est
okay.
ça qui est important.
He said that the fact that Omega Pro is not registered in France is not a problem because countries have conventions within themselves. You can even go, France can go to Dubai and look for money there as long as the victims, part of them are in France. France has the right to go and look for funds wherever they can be found. It is the victims that count, where the victims are, not where the company is registered, sorry. Ça, c'est pour la première réponse.
Voilà. Ensuite, pour la deuxième question, peut-être que 450 000 euros, c'est suffisant pour faire la procédure, mais peut-être pas.
He said,
qui est
probably
sûr,
450,000 might be enough to do the procedure, mais maybe not. C'est qui l'a payé d'ailleurs, c'est 450 000?
c'est les adhérents, c'est les 3000 adhérents qui, chacun, en fonction de combien ils ont mis, 65 euros, 150 euros, 200 euros, 300 euros, ça a fait aujourd'hui un budget de à peu près 450 000 euros.
Okay. He said maybe 450,000 euros would be enough to do the procedure, maybe not. So I asked him, who has paid for these 450,000 euros? He said it is the people that have already joined the association and have paid for their subscription according to how much they invested in Omega Pro, as we began to say in the beginning. So all the amount of all those people coming together, it was makes up that 450,000. So that 450,000 is from the people who have joined the association and have engaged in the association already.
Et donc, il faut que ce soit juste et équitable. Et on ne peut pas dire à ceux qui arrivent après, bien vous ne payez pas d'adhésion parce que finalement, on a assez d'adhésion par rapport à ceux qui sont arrivés avant vous. Parce que ceux qui sont avant, ils vont dire pourquoi les autres ne payent pas et pourquoi nous, on paye.
Okay, he said actually in the manner of equity and all fairness, it's not fair for the people who have already joined and have already registered to have paid, and then we say, okay, these ones have joined us now, but we have enough money, so they are not going to pay, but you have already paid. So everybody has to be on the same level ground.
Et c'est pour ça que on va, pour chaque pays, on crée un fichier différent. Et si on a plus de budget que nécessaire, eh bien, à la fin, quand on aura terminé la procédure, on donnera le reste de l'argent, soit on le rendra aux adhérents, d'accord, par rapport à ce qu'ils auront payé, soit on le donnera à une association pour les enfants ou pour les personnes âgées.
Okay. He said when people have engaged with this association and have contributed, we are going to have different files for the different countries. So at the end of the procedure, if the money that was brought together to do this case is still remaining, it can be given back, or if we decide, we can decide to give it to a charity or whatever. But whatever the case, there's going to be files that will determine which the amount of money that came from each team or each country.
Okay, so we need to go now to the next person. Bona, are you there? Please, we need to go quickly with the questions.
Yes, I'm here. So
Yes.
we'll just take, let me quickly unmute Akinyemi Sunday. Let me ask, sorry, not you, sorry, shit. Akinyemi Sunday, I just asked you to unmute now.
Okay, good evening, all.
Yes, sir.
Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, sir.
Yeah, my question is, I actually joined a bit late. So I would like to ask the French guy to probably to know what are the proofs that he has treated cases like this before. And because one, to treat a case like this, one in the experience, and so that we won't just be pushing money into covers that we don't know that something we actually get, we will get results out of it. And I would also like to advise that on the board that will be formed, I would advise that we don't put in strong leaders of Omega Pro into that same board, because most of the members of the leaders in Omega Pro, we don't the trust that we have for those leaders are no longer there. So I will also advise that even if they can bring in some new people into those boards, so that it can be a level playing ground and everybody can have some peace.
Okay.
All right, thank you, sir. So
let me ask the question. Donc, il aimerait savoir, le monsieur qui a eu la parole, en fait, ils disent il y a un problème de confiance. C'est tout à fait normal. Donc, il aimerait savoir quelle garantie, enfin, quelle preuve pouvez-vous montrer que vous avez déjà engagé ce genre de procédure, parce qu'ils ne vous connaissent pas vraiment. Donc, ils veulent être rassurés, en fait, tout simplement. Ça, c'est la première chose, sur vos compétences. La deuxième chose, c'est de savoir si sur cette conseil d'administration, il peut y avoir des membres qui ne sont pas le haut rang Omega Pro. Parce qu'il dit que certains membres ont perdu confiance dans les leaders d'Omega Pro. Donc, ça sera bien aussi que le conseil d'administration, il y a des gens qui ne sont pas haut placés dans Omega Pro aussi.
Alors, déjà, dans le conseil d'administration, il n'y a personne du corporate. Aucune personne du corporate est dans le conseil d'administration.
Non, pas corporate, hein, comme les Crown Diamond, Blue Diamond.
Il n'y en a aucun. Il n'y en a aucun.
Ah, d'accord. Donc, il n'y a pas le haut gradé Omega Pro, hein?
Non, aucun.
Okay. So he said that right now in the administrative council of this association, as it is today, there is nobody that is a high-ranking Omega Pro level there right now.
Mais très sincèrement, j'aurais préféré qu'il soit là.
But honestly, he would have preferred that they be part of it.
Parce que je vois certains là dans les commentaires qui disent Omega Pro, scam, etc., etc. Omega Pro, pendant 5 ans, ça n'a pas été un scam. Pendant 5 ans, les gens ont reçu de l'argent, ils ont sorti de l'argent, ils ont pu racheter des licences. Pour l'instant, personne ne peut prouver qu'Omega Pro est un scam.
So he says that he can see in the comments that people are writing scam, another scam, Omega Pro scam. He said for 5 years, Omega Pro was not a scam. People were buying licenses, collecting their money and everything. So as of today, nobody can prove that Omega Pro has been a scam.
Ensuite, moi, j'ai acheté des licences parce que quelqu'un m'en a parlé.
So he bought a license because he bought licenses because someone spoke to him about Omega Pro.
Et aujourd'hui, je ne conçois pas d'aller attaquer la personne qui m'en a parlé ou les leaders d'Omega Pro parce que je suis persuadé qu'ils ne savaient rien de ce qui se passait.
So today, personally, his objective is not to go attack leaders of Omega Pro or other members of Omega Pro or the people who introduced him, because he knows that they knew nothing about anything that was going to happen. They too went with all good faith.
Par contre, ce que je ne comprends pas, c'est pourquoi quand ils étaient à Dubaï, ils ne se sont pas réunis pour créer une dynamique d'envergure internationale comme l'association Capital pour avoir plus de poids et pour faire pression sur Omega Pro.
But it would have been nice if all leaders of Omega Pro, at each time that they went to Dubai, they created a kind of association as a force to unite all the different leaders across the globe.
Pendant 5 ans, Omega Pro a rendu service à beaucoup de personnes qui étaient contentes des services d'Omega Pro.
So for a long time, Omega Pro was good for everybody that was there in the beginning.
Et d'un seul coup, en novembre 2022, il y a un blocage, mais on ne sait pas pourquoi. On ne sait pas si vraiment ils ont été hackés. On ne sait pas. Donc, il faut une procédure pour aller chercher la vérité.
So in November, everything stopped. We don't know why it happened. We don't know if it was really a hacking. So we really need to go and find out what exactly happened.
Voilà. Et là, on nous dit l'argent est sur Trader Domain ou il est ailleurs. Pour l'instant, personne ne sait, parce que si on savait, on aurait déjà été chercher l'argent.
So now we are told that the money is in Trader Domain and different places, but nobody really knows, because if it was really there, we would have gone to look for it there and find it there.
Voilà. Ensuite, moi, je ne demande pas que les gens me fassent confiance à moi. Moi, je suis comme tout le monde ici. Je suis un client d'Omega Pro qui a acheté des licences et qui veut récupérer son argent.
So he says he's not, as c'est très important ce que vous dites. He's saying that he's not asking for anybody to have confidence in him or trust him, because as far as he's concerned, he is just like every other member that paid or bought a license within Omega Pro. What he's trying to propose is for us to come together and try and get a solution together. He's not asking for anybody to trust him personally. He also is looking for a solution as a client of Omega Pro.
Et que j'ai conscience que pour y arriver, il faut qu'on soit très nombreux pour être assez puissants pour justement faire bouger le juge et faire bouger les institutions.
Because one thing that he's sure of is that if we want to make this work and we want to make progress, there has to be many of us so that it can put some pressure on the judge and we can get the results that we want as a large body.
Et si les gens ne me font pas confiance, demain, ils peuvent voter un autre président. Ce sont les adhérents qui maîtrisent l'association, ce n'est pas le bureau, ce n'est pas le président.
So he says we need to separate two things. There's the lawyer firm that is handling everything, and then there's the association that is dealing with the lawyers. This has a board of directors, and anytime the president of the association can change. So the association is there to move things as a corporate body, but it is dealing directly with the lawyers. So the association is not there for anybody to make any money off of it. It's so that we can have a united front.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so very much. I think that is the much we can take already. We have spent 1 hour, 23 minutes. So we have other things to talk about. CDD, if you don't mind, if they can excuse us, so that we can continue with other agendas for tonight.
Of course. Thank you so much, Joanna. Thank you, Frank. We appreciate your time and your presence here on this call. We'll get back to you.
Merci, Frank. Ils vont vous recontacter. Merci.
Bien. Merci à vous et bonne continuation.
Merci.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Please, I have an important question to ask, and you will not let me talk. It's very important. It's very important.
Hello. So Thank you so much. We have heard this. One thing I want us to know, because a lot is flying around on the chat, I want all of us to know that this is not a compulsory solution. It is not. It's not a compulsory solution, one, and it is just for those who are willing to be part of the association. We see this as one of the strategies by going after the blockchain wallet, where we are all paying money into. So this, for me personally, I don't want to give let any chance lose, because as you guys know, I have a lot in the system, and I'm willing to weigh all my options, and then if possible do 1, 2, 3, in some of them, and see what it can what can come out from there. But of course, with this, his own strategy, as he's saying, with the association, if they become successful, it is only those that register with the association that get whatever proceed that comes from there. So it is not compulsory at all. So don't let anybody think anybody is out to take anybody's money. No, it is one of the options that we are considering, and we decided to also bring it to the house. Perhaps somebody here might want to consider the same option, but if you are not, that is not the last option. This is just one out of the different strategies, out of the different options that we have that we want to let you guys know. So I hope this is very, very clear. Nobody is taking your money. Nobody is asking you to pay any money by force or by compulsion. No, it is for you to listen. And if you want to be part of it, you link up to them. Just like personally me, I heard the strategy, and I think it is something I want to be part of because of the blockchain strategy they are using. So if you feel like you want to go ahead, please. If you feel that it is not a good this thing for you, of course, it's also fine and good. So we go next to the next agenda, for the day, which is the USA legal team, which is going to be anchored by Big Sam. Big Sam, if you are there, could you unmute and speak about this? Big Sam, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, all the leaders, all the co-investors. I want to sincerely appreciate everyone for joining this meeting today. Over 1,000 people, some on the Zoom, and other people on the YouTube channel. So, in the process of finding a solution, like Dr. Chinwe or Dr. Bonada said, when we went to Dubai and we came back with the shocking news, it destabilized all of us, and because this kind of thing has never happened before. None of us has any experience on how to go about it or whatever. So we started looking for solutions here and there. And you can see from the chart of CDD, then, and one of the solutions, what we have brought on the table, then personally, I also was looking for a solution on we are able to get a lawyer from US. This lawyer has shared his experience, and that he can help us out. He is very good at to recover funds. And now that we are aware that some of the funds are with CFTC, so we said the lawyer will start by petitioning CFTC. Then I'm sure if this lawyer will work hand in hand with this French guy, then I am optimistic and believing God that we will get a very, very good result and good outcome with this synergy. So we believe in the competence of the US lawyer, and with the partnership with this French guy, I'm sure we are going to get a very good result. We want people that are actually out to get out money from the company where the money is, not from people making empty promises, inciting people against other people. We are looking for people that can actually give us what we really want, which is to get out our money from the company. And that is how we get the US. The US lawyer is ready to work day and night with us. And I can assure you that any moment from now, you start hearing from him, you start hearing the progress he's making. Then in partnership with this French person, you people will start, all the Nigerian team, we start hearing the progress and you start seeing it. And with God on our side, with the support of everybody on this call, with your prayers, I'm sure we are going to get our results, which is to get our money out. That is the short update for me. Over to you, Dr. Bona. Thank you.
Okay, I will take it up from here, quickly do a recap, and then we can have Mrs. Miriam to talk to us, all right? So there are different possibilities based on the stories that had started from the month of November. The first story that was given to us was that there was a hacking and the company lost some money, but not all the money. This was what was communicated. We don't know the truth, okay? The second scenario is that after the hacking, the company had issues as a result of some bad business done by some of the founders, and the company, was also mentioned somehow, and then some of the money was lost in trading with traders domain, etc. And part of the money was frozen by CFTC. That was also another revelation in the month of September. Now, these three places are possible places where they try to let us see, or they try to give us the stories or sell us the stories that our monies are missing, okay? I'm not saying lost, I'm saying missing, okay? Because what is missing can be found. Now, the fourth possible place or first possible thing that was not mentioned by the company is the remaining money. The company haven't told us where the remaining money is, because we want to believe that whatever story that has been sold or has been told, one thing has not been mentioned, which is, okay, there is part of the money left, or there is all of the money left somewhere, which obviously will be kept in probably blockchain, like Bitcoin wallet or some cryptocurrency sort of. And this will require some blockchain forensic, all right? And that is why this French team, they said they are not only going to get lawyers to go after whatever frozen, or to confirm if truly there is money frozen. If yes, then to request for it, okay? And the second thing is deploying blockchain expert, because nobody seems to be talking about the monies that has not been communicated, how it is, where it is, or how it's being used, or all of that, which is the money the French market, their strategy says, we will go look for the money that has not been shown to us, or that has not been explained to us. It must be somewhere in the blockchain. And as long as we have ever sent money to a wallet, or we have ever received money from a wallet from the company, we can locate that money, and wherever it is, we can get it back. So this is the approach. So if we look at the lawyer we first introduced, don't forget, this man is not a lawyer. He is a member like us. In fact, he's a diamond leader, like he said. And he said he has a background in Secret Service of France, safe to say like FBI of the US, for example. And in his career time with the Secret Service of France, there have been cases like this where monies have been traced, hidden monies has been traced and recovered. And the lawyers, international lawyers they have used, they still have the relationship, or he still has their relationship. He is contacting them to be on this job, or on this process, where we still maintain our US lawyers to interface with them, because somebody would say, are you sure they are not going to only speak for the interest of the French team? And that's where we would have our lawyers in the team. Okay, our US lawyer will be in the team to protect our interests, because whatever battle, legal or blockchain technical battle that they are fighting, there will be someone of representative. Our lawyer will be there. And then in the Nigerian team, there will be somebody that would vote. Okay, it's not going to be someone that would represent us, or that would just stand up based on rank or position. No, this person has to be someone who we need to pass a vote of confidence on. So the entire community or the entire members would at some point vote for somebody. Number two, this person would have to be someone that can move around freely, that have travel documents to move around freely, okay? So at the end of the day, merging the two approaches together, having the US lawyer approach CFTC to inquire and to petition them, meaning to register our interest in the money, if at all there is money there, that will be one approach, and then the blockchain will be another approach. At the end of the day, we don't want to leave any stone unturned, okay? And like Big Sam said, this is one approach, what we believe that we want to work with, okay? And the translation, person who was translating said this is a long approach. Maybe what I want to say, what I want to mention there is that it is not an overnight success. It's not an overnight strategy. It's not what we can say, okay, tomorrow. Why? Because if truly there is some money in the court processes like this nature takes typically 1 to 2 years, okay? 1 year, maybe 1 year is gone already. We have another year, we're going into it. Then for the blockchain approach, like the man said, he said, it's possible that they have fragmented the money and spread it into different wallets to make it cumbersome and to make it tiring for tracing. But he said with patience, over time, we're able to still trace it, follow it, and still recover the money. So at the end of the day, if we have this hybrid strategy, then we can have maybe a bucket full of money or something reasonable and tangible to go around, okay? So again, this is one approach. Another approach may be the other approach, some of the other groups, like in France, we said there are 3 different groups, okay, and everybody is using different strategies. At the end of the day, whatever strategy that works, people are going to be able to get monies back. Now, having said this, I believe Mrs. Miriam is here, and maybe she's just going to give her speech, and then we are rounding up the meeting. Thank you. Over to you, Miriam.
All right. Good evening, everyone, co-investors. We really thank you for taking time to be with us today. We're happy that we are meeting today, and this actually shows that we have been doing lots of work behind the scene. And we thank you for taking our time to be here, like I said earlier. And I can see in the chat box, so many people are really hurting, just like all of us. And the essence of coming together today is to know how to move forward. And then, like the CDD said, and other leaders, this is just one of those things we are proposing. Nobody is saying that this is the best procedure. There are so many other ones that we're going to also bring to everyone to consider. So I encourage you to just everybody to calm down, because there are going to be various committees where we're going to have well-meaning individuals among us. If you feel that you're somebody who is actually a professional in this kind of thing, it's going to be a transparent platform where people will make a meaningful contribution. So I implore you, all of us, we are in this together. The leaders, the investors, everyone that actually has invested with Omega Pro. I want to make something very clear. We all are in this together. We are feeling the pains together, and we are doing everything humanly possible, legally possible, to make sure that we get to the root of this matter. So many people are thinking that, okay, CFTC is not the right approach. French team is not the right approach. USA is not the right approach. That's okay. So if we know the right approach, there will be no need of calling this Zoom. So the essence of this Zoom is to work together as one body who are actually in a situation together. So I encourage everyone to understand that we are behind everything. We are behind you, and we are working together. We are feeling the pain with you. It is actually a shocker to us when in September, Big Sam came with the news about the situation of this country, of this investment. So we are pleading for patience, to be open-minded, and for us to see the various scenarios so that all of us can come to one conclusion and say that this is what we want best for ourselves. Nobody is guilty only when it's proven by any maybe jurisdiction or court of law or whatever it is. So we are pleading with all of you, having come here together, to keep your hope alive, because all of us, we are hurting. The economy of Nigeria is very, very hard, and this is a peculiar situation. So while we're here, while you have come here today, we want you to, everybody, to calm down for us to suggest for us to actually reason together, for us to know that a journey of 1,000 miles starts with a step. So this is one step we are taking. So make you understand that this step we have taken is definitely going to lead us to that place we all want to be. And the bottom line is, how do we get our money? And you may have a better solution. So bring it forward so that everyone will benefit and be happy once again. So on that note, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to also have this belief. And I also want to say that with God on our side, with you and I, professionals, coming forward to say what they feel about this thing, we are going to get to that desired end. So thank you so very much for being here. We encourage you to always pay attention to the leadership of this Omega Pro, because actually we are all heartbroken. We are looking for a way forward. We are with you all the way. And in coming days, coming months, people who have come for this presentation, people who are well-meaning, people who are really interested to see this thing come to a positive solution. We're going to have various committees, like the CDD will also say, so that we'll have people who will help us with their intellectual capacity, with the experience they have had in the past, for us to get to the root of this matter. I have seen so many questions about CFTC, about Paolo, about the founders of this company. If you knew all those, actually wouldn't have called for this meeting, call lawyers, call people. So we are in this maze of confusion, maze of shock, and we thank you for coming, and we pray that you believe again that with God all things are possible. Thank you so very much. Thank you.
Okay, so I'll just unmute people. Everyone would have maybe 2 minutes each to speak. Maybe Dr. Chinwe will help us. From the hands, anyone who is speaking, you just bring down their hand so that we can have we can know that we are moving. Okay, 2 minutes maximum. We can have time. We can have them time so that we can move quickly. Questions, Dr. Chinwe? I'm sure you know how to unmute them and then to drop their hands when they speak, when they have spoken.
Okay.
Adobo, your hand is up, so you can unmute yourself and speak. Okay, Adobo is no more there. Spec. Okay, Spec is not there. Let me quickly make this clear. We are looking to constitute 3 different committees. Number 1 is the legal committee. Number 2 is the communication committee. And number 3 is the intelligence committee. So please, we are going to allow everybody, doesn't matter who you are, where you are, as long as you are a member of Omega Pro, doesn't matter if you have a rank or no rank. If you have any information, or you have any connection, or you have any kind of intelligence that you think may help us, please, we would appreciate that you bring your expertise on the table, bring it to the table so that we can look into it together. So if you think you have strong contribution in any way, legally or maybe in communication, because for us to maintain continuous, consistent, and effective communication with the team, we will need partnership from everybody, okay? And also in terms of intelligence, some people don't want to be on the forefront, they don't want to be on social media, but they have maybe reasonable and helpful information that they can provide. Maybe service uniform men, maybe members of some anti-graft agencies, or military personnel who have some information or some guide, some advice, counsel on how to go about situations like this. You're all welcome into the committees, so you can kindly indicate, okay, maybe here on the chat, or maybe through the person who introduced you, or any link at all that we can add you to the group. Having said that, I want to give it back to Dr. Chinwe and Dr. Bona to go ahead with taking the questions. Thank you.
Okay, so I'm unmuting Peace Eze. Please, you can ask your question.
Hello, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Yes, 1 minute each, please. Thank you.
My question is, I know that we all are loyal to one person or loyal to friends. We can't do this thing if we don't have someone in the caucus inside this organization that know what Omega Pro is doing. I keep saying it. We need Paulo to get to these people. Let's say the truth. When these things was going good, Paulo was doing meeting with us back to back. This is now time for him to prove his loyalty to the Nigerian community. If he claims that he loves the Nigerian community like he did, this is when we need him. And I'm very sure Daniel, Bonaventure, and all the other leaders, Tomiwa and the rest, might still be having communication with Paulo. Please, this is time for him to prove that he really loves the Nigerian community and come out and talk. He should be in this meeting. He should talk. He knows where these people are. He knows what is happening. He should now come here and work with this lawyer or whosoever lawyer you're bringing in to see how to fish these people out to get the money out. All this talk we're talking here will not work if there is nobody inside there to tell us the real story of what is going on. That is my own. So I know your loyalty lies with Paulo, but this is not the time for us to do loyalty with people. People's money are hanging. We need him to come out wherever he's hiding. He should come out and talk to the Nigerian community that he's with us. Every time we're having meetings, he should be there. He knows where these people are. This is what we need to make this our journey short. Now, who know road, now we go to follow, not going around, going on a square peg on a round hole. We're not going to go anywhere. That is my own thing. Please,
thank you so much.
Paulo is your friend. Let us get him to come and do this thing. He knows where this is.
Thank you so much. I think we have even gone beyond this level now. The reason is because Mike Sims has come out to speak, and that means satellites will be on him because there are three founders, Mike Sims, Dilawa, and Andreas. If one out of the three is now out, it means it's even easier for the other two to be located, because he spoke through a line, through a number. So that's the reason why we are saying if there are intelligence, if there are people in the that can join legal and intelligence, then we can go and get Mike Sims, and Mike Sims can then give us information on where the rest are, because there are three co-founders. So if one out of three has been found, I think we're making progress, if you ask me. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. We're gonna also take a question from Cross. I don't know, Cross, please unmute yourself and speak. 1 minute, please.
Thank you so very much. Can I be heard?
Yes, you can.
Okay, so thank you, Onoja, thank you. Yeah, sometimes I ask very crazy questions, but that's part of intelligence. So the first question will be, yeah, I want us to keep an open mind to what we're doing. A lot of people have invested money and they're having bad feelings, or I will use the word in the Nigerian palace, bad blood. But that notwithstanding, we need to ask ourselves certain questions before we make progress. This is a Nigerian problem now. That is how I want to localize it. Hence, we saw the Nigerian lawyers that won the case for the federal government. Why are we not using our Nigerian local lawyers who are doing international law to do this work for us? It will be more easier, more accessible, and convenient for us. Let's open up ourselves, tell them what our challenges are. Look for somebody that is good, tell him what our challenges are, and narrate our story the way it is, and look for solution. Going about these guys that we're trying to mention now, in my opinion, in my honest opinion, will not yield any fruit, because already people are having bad blood and there's a lot of suspicion. And when there's suspicion, you can't come and start telling people about money, because you've risen up to 400 and something thousand euros, but you've not been able to tangible mention anything you've done. I listened to the guy very well, but he couldn't mention anything they've done within this period they've generated that amount of money. He's talking about intelligence, what intelligence information he has gathered before now about the Omega Pro guys. So these are questions we need to peruse and ask. Is these people we are trying to engage with or partner with have the fundamentals? It won't work. Chinwe just talked about Pablo. We need people who can get us this information, and I know Nigerians can do it. And again, before we call this general kind of forums, I will advise our leadership here, please do your homework very well, so you don't bring people and the Nigerian community begin to throw
feedbacks that you yourself will be discouraged. Do your homework very well, gather tangible information. If you're not comfortable with the information, don't bring people and gather them and people come and tell. We are all intelligent. A lot of people here are very well knowledgeable about things. So please, I encourage us, let's do our homework very well. We can use Nigerian lawyers, the guys that fought for the Nigerian government for the PNID. They can also be consulted. We've already committed money, there's a lot of money hanging, and we'll speak to them. We'll go for a percentage bargaining. We don't need to bring out money. If you win this case, this is the percentage you get. If you don't win the case, then this is what it is. They know the amount of money that is involved, and they will know how to go about this thing. And again, we need to know what the storyline is. There's a lot of storyline that are not clear. On all the 3 points you said from the last September meeting you guys had with them in Dubai, there was nothing tangible. These are people who were coming to us, telling us all sorts of good news. But now the chips are down. We can't substantiate anything. They say transfer money to this broker. Now today they're telling us another story. So we need to get the real facts so that we can address and get a very good brief with a good lawyer that can help us. Otherwise, we can't go anywhere. Thank you very much for this audience.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Oh,
Sorry, go ahead.
Can I go ahead? Can I go ahead?
Yes, please. Yes,
okay.
please
Thank you so much, Mr. Cross. Well taken and noted. And like we have always said, we're open to information, we're open to collaboration, we're open to, that's why we said we'll have committees. So anybody who is interested and knows that he has something to offer, please feel free to join that committee. This is not about a particular person. Once you know that you have the expertise, that's why we're training it open. Like we have always said, we do not know it all. Okay, like from what you're saying now, if you have anybody you want to join there, please feel free to add the person to that group so that he can also help us in this. Okay, we've seen so many angles to it. Why we brought this here is because several times, you know, the storyline has been that we are not communicating. So we said we had a meeting before now with the Blue Diamonds, with the Diamonds, and they said we're not communicating effectively. Okay, tell us every step that you're taking. And that's why we're bringing anything we want to do now, we're going to bring it to this house to x-ray for themselves. Not only the so-called leaders, you know, thinking through it, because we were thinking that was going to be a big burden, calling them for every now and then. Okay, like in the past few days, we've had like almost like 5 meetings. We were wondering, can everybody be attending this meeting every day? But they said it's fine. So that's why we're making it open that every decision or any idea that is brought to us will be brought to this house. So we can all look at it holistically because we're all involved in this mess. Okay, it's not about me, it's not about every person has money here. So we are all going to make our own inputs. And thank you so much that you have contributed so well. And like you said, anybody you have in mind, please, I think the group, maybe they're going to drop the link for the group or something so they can also join there and then we can take it off from there. Thank you so much. However, I also like to reiterate, we have, I mean, for me, there are different ways to kill a rat, okay? So if you're using gum, some person will use knife, some people may want to use stick, but the bottom line is the rat must die. The bottom line is that we must get our money, okay? So we have seen people using different strategies, the French team, the Colombian team, the Egypt team, the Nigerian team. Everybody is working towards ensuring that we don't leave our money in the hands of, you know, the founders or whoever they are, okay? So that means that if this strategy does not work, you can also join other strategies that you feel would work, okay? But however, let's ensure that our money is found. Thank you so much. I don't, Sidi, do you have anything to add?
What I would like to add is that there are different people on this call who maybe have access to some powerful people or some great connections. FBI here, people mentioned, let's go get the founders, let's arrest them. We are looking for how to get that done. And I believe people who suggest is because they have idea and maybe the connection. So please, you may want to join the intelligence committee, all right? Peace made a very vital contribution. So Peace will be very good maybe in the intelligence committee so that we can get the actionable steps and maybe some referrals of people who can help us go catch them. So we'll just give the mandate and then we can get them arrested, and from there we can investigate and then get the monies out. So just like Dr. Chinwe said, our hands are wide open. We have the committees created. Just say, I want to be a part of the legal team. And I know there are also a few lawyers, maybe someone in Dublin, someone in Canada who has reached out through some people to say they're interested in being part of the legal team. We are sending the link to them. Let them join the legal committee so that together we can work hand in hand to get this done. Whether we're going to arrest or we're going to follow blockchain or we're going to petition CFTC, all of these things would have committees set up for people who are who are using those approaches. And at the end of the day, I'm sure that we can have a way out. Thank you. Dr. Chinwe, go ahead, pick some more people and let's know how many more we are taking.
Yeah, we're taking 5 more people. So, Chief Tony, you've been asked to unmute yourself. I see your hand is up.
Yes, thank you very much again for this opportunity. Can you guys hear me clearly?
Yes, we can.
Can you guys hear me clearly? Okay, yeah, I'm calling from US. Quick question. I was speaking with a lawyer the other day. Now, the first story I got was that the account is frozen for one of the founders because of something he did. Now, if that is the case, the question is, who froze the account? And where is the proof that the account is actually frozen? And number 2, when I look at the broker portal, I see some amount in there. Is that fake or is that real? Those are the 2 questions I have.
Okay, thank you so much, Chief Tony. I would say that this question is actually what we're looking for. That's what we're actually looking for. There's so many stories that we as leaders do not have answer to that. Okay, who froze the account? That is if it's actually frozen, except maybe some other person can actually help out. But I mean, what I can say here is that a lot of information is limited to us here. I'm not sure anybody here has a clear understanding of what exactly has gone wrong. Okay, so that's what we're looking for solution. And if you had seen a video where Mike Sim appeared, he was talking about not being aware of so many things. So I asked myself this very big question. I said to myself, if Mike Sims, who we know is one of the 3 co-founders, there are actually 3 co-founders, Dilawa, Andreas, and Mike Sims. If he comes out to say that he doesn't even know, the money is not CFC, so many disclaimers that he's been given, it means that we may not be able to have that answer as well, because I expect that a co-founder should be able to give us clarity because it's one of the co-founder. But from the video, I don't know if somebody has it, can play it so other people can listen to it, what he has said. If he doesn't have that answer, seriously speaking, for us, it's going to be difficult for us, except we take this legal action we're taking to engage the lawyers or people who know better to dig into this matter and tell us exactly what has happened to Omega Flow Funds. Seriously speaking, for me personally, I have no idea, and I'm sure most leaders here don't have clarity, otherwise we won't be here. If we had these whole answers, then we will not be here looking for solution. Thank you so much. CDD, if you have anything or any other person has something to add, please go ahead.
I think he asked 2 questions. The first one was the money in broker group. Is it fake? Is it real? Okay. Yeah, so Chief, that question actually begs for answer till date. The reason is because, so I don't want to say that is real money. I honestly don't believe that is real money, because in Forex trading, every money in the broker accounts is digital money, is figures, just like in your app. If you open your banking app, you see figures. But a representation, a real money should be somewhere in the bank vaults. Okay, that is how in Forex trading also, that figure you are seeing in broker group is supposed to have real money somewhere, and that real money is what we are looking for right now. Okay, so This real money, a lot of things had been claimed by the company to have happened to it. Number one, they said hacking took part of the money. Number two, they came again in September. They said the money has been seized by American authority and a financial authority in America called CFTC, that it has been frozen in that place. Okay. And the third thing that the company didn't tell us or mention things about is the other fraction of it, because even if they have lost money in trading, let's assume they lost money in trading, let's assume part of it is frozen, let's assume, as they claim, that part of it was taken or stolen in the hacking, there should be another fraction somewhere. Okay, so these are the four possible places that the figure in traders group, these are the four possible places that this money may have been fragmented into. Okay, so we can look for the one that is left. That is the solution this French team is proposing, using blockchain forensic experts to trace and to recover that one, those ones. And then the ones frozen by CFTC, if we go and petition and CFTC confirms that, okay, yes, traders domain money is there, and by extension Omega Pro money, then we can now begin to register our interest there also. So you see, these are possibilities. And you asked again if there is any proof to that. There are documents flying around of the lawsuits or the court's proceedings in Texas, USA. Maybe the person who added, or maybe in the group, if you join, we can share again, because I still saw that document yesterday. So that is a proof that there is a case going on and money was frozen as part of the exhibit, etc. But what we need to confirm is if Omega Pro has a share or a part in that money. There is a YouTube video that is flying around that says Omega Pro lost money in traders domain and all of that. But everything, like I said, is still, there are still claims and they are still like unconfirmed, but we are working together with the lawyers and with all of the experts and intelligent guys to figure out and then to recover as much as possible. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, CDD. I see, sorry. Okay, I see Mr. Kennedy Igbo, something. Please, you're asked to unmute yourself so you can speak. Mr. Kennedy, please. Mr. Kennedy, please unmute yourself.
Please move to the next person if he's not there because of time.
Okay, the next person is Mma Uzochukwu. Please unmute yourself.
Hello. Yeah, if the video we saw from Mike Sims is real, that means that there's no way to trace the money to him. If he has denied that the money that they claim that CFTC seized is not true, how are we still making plans or talking about it? Why?
Okay, Siri, please, I'd like you to respond to that.
Okay, like I said earlier on, nothing seems to be confirmed actually, because yes, Mike Sims has come out in a video to speak and to say that that money doesn't belong to Omega Pro. But I think the courts has the jurisdiction to say that, okay, or to tell us categorically who owns it and who doesn't own it, because you never can tell. Since things are no longer working fine, there may be some personal interest here and there, and it's difficult for us to believe or trust any of the founders at this point. Mike Sims is one of the founders. He may have a different agenda or a different interest, and the two other founders also have not come out. They are still in the hiding, and that's why I said the court, since there is a proceeding already in the court, by the time that is done, then the courts will now tell us the true position of things and not an accused, for example. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Okay. I think we'll take two more calls. Or two more questions, sorry. Ezi Ada Wachuku, please unmute yourself.
Yeah, thank you very much. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Chinwe. Thank you, CDD. Thank you, Dr. Bonaventure. Thank you, everyone, Mimi. Thank you, all of you, the leaders. Thank you for allowing me to talk. Please, I just want to say this with, please forgive me if I use the word I'm going to use. I'm going to use the name of God to say whatever I'm going to say or question I'm going to ask. I'm asking all of you, our leaders, since I'm happy to hear some people mentioning that, why don't we start from home? Charity begins at home. To use our, by the way, I'm in UK, but my leadership bound in Nigeria under Dr. Bonaventure Ibanugo. So where I'm going is, since we have intelligent people in Nigeria, as lawyers and people that we can trust that can do something and that have been proven according to some people who have already spoken here, why can't we work together? I have been in a meeting. Please forgive me. I don't want to stir any strife. I'm come back with peace. I'm advising. I'm an elder. I'm a retired poor widow talking. So I'm an elder. Please, I'm begging in the name of Jesus. Is it not possible for you leaders to liaise with Dr. Okpe Banwo, who has volunteered himself? I don't know how he started, but I know I have been in some of his meetings, which he said he started this meeting because nobody was communicating anything to us. Please, I am begging you people in the name of Jesus. I know by virtue of things, I'm senior to almost all of you, the leaders. I am begging in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ, those of you who believe in God, who believe in Christ, can we not mellow down and, because he said, I heard him say that he is willing to work with you people. No matter the way he's, I don't want to judge anybody. You know, people have their way of, exhibition of things and way of dispensation of doing things. But can we not ignore all those and get in touch with him? Please, I beg of you. Even if he has offended you, just forget about it, because he's still pleading of yesterday I listened to him, that he's still ready to work with you people. Let's see what will happen.
You have just 1 minute for your question. You know
what you can do, please.
Okay, thank you so much, ma'am. I think we've gotten your point.
Thank you.
Yes, I don't know if anybody wants to respond to that.
Let's take more questions. We'll respond at the end.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Okay, Mr. Bona, over to you. Maybe you can ask. I think we'll have 3 more people or so, except you want more people to ask their question. I think
no,
noted down that
people, let them just ask them, respond
okay.
to it. Yes.
Oh, okay. All right. Vitus Ugoji, please unmute yourself.
Good evening, everyone in the house. I don't have questions to ask. I just want to make a suggestion.
Okay.
I had one of the leaders saying when the Frenchman was there that he can, there's anybody that wants to go it alone, maybe to join the French team to recover his or her money, can go ahead. So I don't buy that idea, especially the leaders. We should stay together to fight this thing. If we start to, pull one after the other to join one group or the other elsewhere, other than this United Nigerian team, I don't think it's good for the Nigerian team. There are many thousands of members of Omega Pro who do not have access to such foreign groups, and they are here in Nigeria. So, and they trust that through the leaders we have in this country, that this money will be recovered. But it will begin to look somehow that, leaders begin to join because they have access to those people. No, please. We should stay together and fight it. And whatever suggestion that is brought up for us to get this money, let it be together within Nigerian team. If we are joining a foreign group, let it be Nigerian team as a group joins that foreign group, not to individual. That is my suggestion, please. Again, I think, most of the platforms, Omega platforms that we used to write, they have all been locked up. I think even if it is one platform is created so that from time to time people can, suggest. But if you have something to suggest, you don't know who to call. You don't know who to. Sometimes ago, I know I have even communicated with Bonaventure. He didn't reply me. He's a leader. Somebody wrote something to you privately, and it is for the interest of this Omega Pro team. But there was no response from him. So I think we need to get something done so that people can be. We have a platform where we can communicate and throw in suggestions. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Wonderful suggestion. And yes, we have created groups, and maybe more groups will be created for the different committees. And if need be, we will we'll continue to have people like yourself who have suggestions be added in the group. And your suggestion of if working with an international group, it should be as a team or as a whole group Nigeria. That is exactly what we are proposing, okay? I think the idea Bona is trying to make is that there are different strategies, okay? Like in France, for example, there is a group that is going for class action based on their belief and based on their objective. And there is another group that is going for the money. They are targeting the money. Wherever the money is, that is where their searchlight is, okay? And so what this means is that on this call, there is no how you can force people, force your opinion on people. On this call, there are people who agree with this approach, and there are people who maybe do not agree with this approach. So what Bona is trying to say is, it's not compulsory if you think as an individual that you're not cool with the approach of targeting the money, but arresting the founders and doing a class action. That is also another strategy, all right? So, but what Bona is saying is there is maybe a group who is going that route, and there is another group that says, let's target the money. So we want to go as a team, as Nigeria, and that's why we are calling this, that's why we call this meeting, so that we can see reasons why this way is an effective way. It may not give us a 24 hours result, but eventually, gradually and eventually, we would get there. So Mr. Boye, I can see his hand is right in my face. Mr. Boye, please unmute yourself and speak.
Yeah, thank you very, very much. I really appreciate this opportunity to speak. Please, can you all hear me, please? Is everybody hearing me?
Yes.
Oh, all right. My contribution is going to be short and sharp. I believe in strategic thinking and strategic execution of thoughts. I also don't believe in allowing emotions to becloud my strategic thinking. So I tend to shut out emotions, good or bad, so that I can think strategically. I have been seeing a lot of beating about the bush. We need to be very clear on what we want to achieve. Are we interested in our money, or are we interested in attacking the Omega Pro leadership in Nigeria? We need to be very clear on that. Who exactly are we after? Who is our, in quotes, enemy? Is it the leadership of Omega Pro in Nigeria, Or is it the ownership of Omega Pro worldwide? I am interested in getting to where our monies are. And the only people that can tell us are the three owners of Omega Pro. Those three gentlemen are the only ones that know what has happened to the money and where the money is. Obviously, the center cannot hold again. That's why Mike Sims is saying what he's saying now. He was part of the whole business from the onset, for crying out loud. So what is he talking about now? Who can tell us where our money is? It is the three of them. However, they went to Dubai and the founders, the two others, gave them their own version of where the money is. How can we confirm that? The only source of confirmation is the CFTC themselves. I love the approach of this Frenchman that spoke. However, the part I flaw is we want to speak to the lawyer, not you. I want to enter the brain of the lawyer. I want to see how his mind is thinking. What is his strategy? Not this guy. Yes, the idea of an association is good so they can come together. Fine. But what happens when you come together? What is the strategy of the lawyer? It is strategy that we need, sir. Ma. I like the elderly woman that spoke from the UK, the widow woman. I'm also an elderly man. So I want us to think deep on this matter. If you guys follow any of my posts, especially on Solid Builders Group, I listed up to 10 different points that were supporting Dr. Okpe Banwo. I'm older than him, so I can call him Okpe. I listed 10 solid points that I called his positives. And these are very, very solid points. And I made a mention there that I pray that I can be a bridge builder to build the bridge so that we can harness our strengths together so that 2 + 2 can become 22. That's what we need. Synergy, not confusion. We need to synergize. I listed 10 powerful points. However, the only thing that I disagree with, and I say it respectfully, is the approach of targeting the Nigerian leadership. I'm not in the leadership, so I have nothing to, I'm fighting for myself. If we were to attack the Nigerian leadership, who will Boye go and meet? Vincent Udoye that is in the grave? That's my own leader. Will I go and wake him up from his grave and hold him responsible? Why are we holding the leader responsible when we were all brought into the business by the same set of people? If they were hoodwinked, we were hoodwinked too. Why pass the blame on another person? We're shifting focus from the real target, and that's what the enemy wants us to do, to bring confusion in our midst. Because once we are not united, we cannot make progress. My dear brother mentioned that there should be unity. And that's what the enemy is trying to do, to bring disunity. Because once there's disunity, we cannot achieve any purpose. So please don't let us be disunited. I like what that brother said. Let us come together. Let us come together. Let us sit down and talk. Let the leadership and Okpe sit down and talk. The idea of attacking the leadership is not just right. That is not the approach. Let us together face the problem. If we're being scammed, let us know. Where the money is, let us know. CFTC will tell us if Omega Pro money is with them or not. Let's get that information from CFTC first so that we know exactly if it is with CFTC and how much of Omega Pro is with them. if at all it is with them, so that we can now know, okay, CFTC has officially said there's no money of Omega Pro with us. You guys, where is the money? Mike Sims cannot exonerate himself at this time. No, he's not talking to kids here. He's part of the deal. There are lawsuits on him. He's an accused person, by the way. They have confirmed lawsuits against him. So what is he talking about here? And nobody can take the words of Mike Sims and run off with it. No document was submitted by this man in his video. No proof. The law works with evidence, sir. Which proof has he submitted? You cannot take Mike Sims' words as the gospel truth. He is an interested party. He has his own agenda. So what are we talking about? So do the other two founders. I don't trust any one of them. I don't trust them from here to there. Let's get to the bottom of this. Let's start with CFTC. Let CFTC tell us what exactly is with them or not with them. Then we know where to go. Thank you. God bless you all.
Thank you so much, sir. Mr. Matthew Ogumodede. Please make it short.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Good evening, everybody on this call. God bless you, everybody. It will be a crime for me. I tried not to talk, but it will be a disservice to myself and the integrity I uphold in all these cases. Back to the woman that spoke from the UK. I am Matthew Ogumodede, and I was formerly the vice chairman to Dr. Kwebanwu. And sincerely speaking, we tried to work with him. We saw him when he came, and I want everybody on this call to document this. And even when people were saying, no, I said, well, we need to be with him. I see what he has in the pockets. We want to see what the strategy we use. And we're actually working together. And even when people were saying, no, we need to, have one system in place, we said, yes, it's a good idea. However, Dr. Kwebanwu, and I want everybody that is listening to me to take this. I am talking as an insider from the two sides. We fight from the leadership side, and I was with Dr. Kwe and many of our leaders who are here. However, the strategy of attacking Nigerian leaders, let anybody take it tonight, will not lead us to anywhere. The last speaker said we need to define our vision and our focus. Our vision is to get back our money. I have leader. Somebody brought me to the business, and I have brought 3,000 people, and the chain continues. If I drag my leader down, or possibly because I want leaders to come down, 3,000 people will pull me down. At the end of the day, we are only pulling ourselves down. Arrest Matthew, arrest Danny, arrest. We'll continue to arrest ourselves, and that will not produce the money. And at the end of the day, we create more enmity and one chaos, and the money, we are not funding it. And many of us, particularly me, we approached Dr. Kwe. We worked with him, and we said, look, you have other strategies we can follow. Good idea, perfect. Using FBI, using the crypto intelligence, using the funder, using the CFTC, all these are there. But everybody on this call in Nigeria, we have one, method or strategy that we can engage rather than pulling ourselves down. I know people have been brainwashed, people have been told a lot of things. Like somebody who spoke, we need to detach emotion and ask ourselves, what do we want? I tell somebody, if we engage ourselves in fighting, in killing, in whatever, at the end of the day, if we raise this money, how do we divide it? And how much can we raise? And to me, to God, and everybody on this call, if you don't know tonight, take it home. The money is not in the hand of any leaders. I was surprised yesterday when somebody said, I chairman a meeting together with Mr. Daniel Onoja, and that Mr. Daniel Onoja settled all my member with $15,000, and somebody sent me a message this morning again that Mr. Daniel gave me $25,000. And on this call, God is my witness. Except on meetings like this, I have not spoken to Mr. Daniel in the last 1 month. We have not exchanged call. And somebody said, I have taken $25,000. You see, these are allegations unfounded. You see, because I said, let us drop the strategy of killing each other. If we kill ourselves, does it produce the money? I know we all feel pain. So the people who are talking about Dr. Kwe, let's march, we have said more than that. And if Dr. Kwe, I assure him today, if we drop the issue of let's begin to drag ourselves, if there are strategies, we are together when it was sweet, when it is bad, we will fight and put those strategies on the table. And these Nigerian leaders will also listen to us. But nobody will listen when you say, lock him up, bring him down, kill him. This, we fight. Yes, brothers and sisters, even wife and husband do. But not to kill each other. An adage that I shared with him, I told him, I said, if two brothers fight for a land and they kill themselves, a stranger will inherit the land. So while rounding up, please let everybody know this. And whoever has his ears and whoever wants us to work together should let him know that killing ourselves, bringing ourselves down, locking ourselves up, and starting case with ourselves, taking somebody to court. There are processes in law. You take me to police station, you lock me up in the FCC, I bail there, it's a bailable offense, I bail myself, I charge you to court, we exchange court from High Court to appeal to Supreme Court, and years roll by. Where is our vision? What do we want to achieve? In all this strategy, if you drop it today, I know everyone who is on this call we will fight ourselves, we will forgive ourselves, and then we'll look at what we can do. Secondly, I also want us as Nigerian leaders to look at, to look at any point we are taking, any strategy we are using. We should try as much as possible to look and to go in as a team. Not that some people will go with the strategy of payment, this one will go with this. No, let us pick one strategy. It may take time, but I believe God will make a way for us. Finally, for me, this is my personal opinion, not anybody's opinion. I feel it may take time. We need to look at the strategy that will cost less, taking Nigerian lawyers, looking at other strategy, looking at something around the funder and then the crypto. But in every case, where we are not asking people to pay much or not to pay, where we can use, if we see an organization who will take percentage on recovery, I think it will reduce all this chaos. Finally, please, I beg everybody on this call, let us give our confidence back to our leader. Let's work with them. They meant well. Nobody has ever given me 1 naira. Anybody who gave me can talk here. But the truth of the matter is we all have the interest. We all have the interest of recovering this money. Let us return our trust. Let's work together as a team. If you kill somebody today, that doesn't bring money. And God forbid, I will not be part of any go and kill him. Because anybody who do harm to another person, the person is also liable. I will never be part of it. And nobody here, I think, will be part of all these things. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you so much, Mr. Matthew, for that very explicit explanation and, of course, way forward. Let's appreciate that long information you've given us so far. Thank you so much. I think we're going to take, Mr. Bonner, do we have time to take how many more calls? How many more questions?
Mr. Charles is on the call already. I've unmuted.
Oh, okay. All right. Please go ahead, sir.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much, leaders, for organizing this call and for all the information that's been passed. I appreciate each and every one of them. But I have some remarks to make. Somehow, both Mr. Boye and Mr. Gumodede have touched the aspect very well. But I would love our leaders also to counter the incitement that was done before now, or that is still going on, because I don't bother to look at the recordings or join the Zoom calls that have been made against our leaders by Mr. Be before going to join any forces with him. I asked a question sometime about him, but it wasn't answered. Our leaders have to take some proactive action against that. Because if you keep quiet and people are incited into attacking you and they do that for real, you will be the ones at loss, not any of the people who are not the so-called leaders. Please do something positive to counter that, I appeal. Then, ladies and gentlemen, there is no way you can go into any form of legal pursuit without spending money. Even if you are told whatever that comes out is what will be paid for, there must be some form of commitment. There must be some commitment made, even if it is $1. So people saying that asking for money shouldn't come up at all, I think that's a daydream. You want to pursue your money, we still have the opportunity. So you have to pursue it, not you yourself pursue it. Somebody has to do it for you. Somebody is giving you a service. There must be some form of payment for it. So let's have that behind our minds as we move forward. Then another thing is, I wish that this video released by Mike Sims would spur the other co-founders of Omega Pro to come out and make their own statement so that we'll know where we're going. Unfortunately, until now, those two people who are actually the main management of Omega Pro haven't given us a concrete statement as to our fate or the fate of Omega Pro and the money involved. They have never done that for reasons best known to them and whatever. So I wish they could just help us come out and react to counter what Mike Sims has said. If only all that we have been seeing all along since last year isn't a script they wrote long ago that they are playing out. People can be so mischievous ab initio. They could have arranged these things and they are just playing it out. Why would somebody, just like Mr. Boye said, come out and do a video denying knowing anything about our money? It's funny. So whatever thing we are hearing or seeing, let us please be very analytical about it all. There are other options. Some people are on this Zoom call or in other platforms. All they do is criticize. They don't offer any suggestions. Now, our leader, CDD, has said platforms will be opened. If you know where you fit in, where you can perform and make suggestions, please join there. Stop making fun of this effort people are making. It is painful when people come to the platform and keep on criticizing, making everything look foolish. It's unfair to people's intelligence. Please, let's be a little more serious with what we are doing. So that if we put in all our efforts and it doesn't work, God forbid, we then know we have tried our best. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you so much for your contribution. Charles, we really appreciate. Very quickly, maybe we'll take the last person, Dr. Ogidi. I can see Dr. Ogidi's hand up. Dr. Ogidi, if you are there, please unmute and speak. Thank you.
Hello, my boss. Hello, everyone. Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can hear you clearly. Please go ahead.
Okay. Good evening once again. I'm very, very grateful and thankful to God for the opportunity to be here. I want to quickly talk about two things. I mention it everywhere. The costliest peace, whatever it will cost you, to broker peace and togetherness is better than the cheapest war. Because when the war starts, nobody can tell the end of the war. Things go out of hand. I want to use the opportunity to beg the leadership to please, let's put aside differences and come together. War is coming. There is big problem. I know the type of embarrassment I faced in and out. Small me was forced to sit down and fill forms and submit yesterday. Else, I would have been seriously dealt with. Please, let us come down. CDD, I beg you in the name of God and everything that you believe in God. Get the house together, get the people together. The investors are already disemphasized. A lot of things are going on, giving me serious headache. I beg of you. You are the pivot and the father of this ship. Bring every person together. Let us have one voice. A leader spoke this evening and my head was blowing because that is one of the cries that is going on around. That the leaders and others that have the money, they are searching for ways to recover. So for a leader to say, okay, this way is there, this is there, whoever wants to go this approach you go, whoever wants to go through the other approach you go, it goes to point out the fact that there is serious dissension in the house. We cannot say you go here, you go here, you go here. Right now, as it is, there is serious crisis. You cannot fathom what people are going through. So I want to suggest that no leader should mention such a word again. When there is a meeting and there is a purpose and there is a direction, let us just throw it open to the people. Because if you like it or not, all of us come on the Zoom. We are mixed multitudes. Everybody with their own mind. I could see some of the expressions and whatever that was going on the platform while you are still trying to forge a way. So please, let us put that aside. Let's ensure that everybody, whatever we say or do, is working towards bringing everybody under an umbrella. Please, so that we can really move forward. The second thing I want to talk about is this. Any person that we can get, yes, there should be money that should be dropped. But right now, what most of the investors need is somebody that can take on their burden. And at the end of the day, or better still, when they have heaved down, can get whatever they want and submit. If not, somebody that can take the burden of the house, and then at a point when we have gotten to maybe achievement, the money is removed. Because sincerely, if you sample opinions, people are in a big mess. And if this is not done, a big embarrassment is coming for the house. Please, let us. Thank you. I am done.
So much, maybe your network.
Hello there. Hello there.
Yes,
hello?
We can hear you. Thank you so much. Yes, we can hear you. Thank you so much for that contribution.
Okay. So I just want us to just come together, to be the family I miss. In fact, I feel like getting to the point of tears. I miss the family. Please let us bring together that family. Hello. Bring the family together. Am I breaking? Hello? I'm sure I'm not breaking. Am I breaking, please?
We can hear you very well. Your point is noted.
Okay, thank you very much. Please, I want to.
Okay, thank you so much. Sidi, over to you, sir.
Okay, thank you so very much. I see a lot of, we're getting a lot of feedback in the area of the finance, and sincerely, we reason and understand with the entire community that is a tough time for everyone, and bringing money upfront may be difficult for everybody at a time like this. However, even though we know this, we only decided to look at things together on the general notes, and so that we can together chart a way to go about it. Like it was mentioned several times that we should always communicate. Many times we've been scolded for taking out time to try to get the best deal or try to filter out expensive approaches for less expensive yet effective ones. But in the process of doing that, we will need to take time. We'll have to do meeting upon meeting, trying to find the best deal, trying to raise the money in-house as leaders, and then it takes a lot of time. And once that takes time, once that time is taken, the community complains about no communication, delayed communication, etc. So what has been decided now is to bring the information raw as it is. All right. So this is like a first general meeting. We've had meetings before with them last week with Diamonds and Above a few days ago, and today the first general meeting. We decided that we'll bring it here raw, because if we start to look at the financials, how to make it cheaper, how to exonerate $100 and $200 people from paying the money, etc., we may need to do maybe 2 or 3 more meetings with them to arrive at that point. And people again will complain of no information. That's why we said, let's bring it open raw. All right. So here is what I can assure you, that we're going back to look at the figure, run the figure, look at the finances, look at the possibilities. And if $100, $200, $300, $400 people may not need to pay anything, we'll come back here and say, based on what the French team has raised already, we have pleaded with them to just partner with our lawyer or work in in consonance with our own lawyer, and then whatever solution that they find for the French team, let it apply to us as well. Or whenever they recover the money, then let it be when we would give them a percentage. So there is room for all of this conversation, but because we want to make sure that information is given to you people at the speed of light, immediately as they are coming, we update you. That's the reason why we have brought them here as it is, okay, to say this is what they have mentioned. But of course, this is not the final conversation. There will be some work in the background, okay? We'll need to take the next few days to look at the figures, look at the things, look at the possibilities. And in maybe the next meeting, they will need to show up with the lawyers in question, because some people said, where are the lawyers themselves? We're going to present them. Then the figure also, maybe it's not going to be paid, or maybe it's going to be paid only when there is a recovery done. All of these things are the next assignments, okay? And for the people who would want us to make some arrests, if at all arrests has to be made, of course, the people with the money, people who have the money, that means the founders of Omega Pro, would need to be the ones to be brought to book. And I see in the chat box, some people live in US, some people are lawyers or they have good lawyers and all of that. By the time we constitute the intelligence team and with the partner, with the cooperation of all those people who live in the US, since Mike Sims is out there and he says he's free, he can walk around and all of that, yes, we can then look for a way to get him to lead us to the other 2 people, and then they can all together tell us where our money is and to give us back our money. This, I think, is a progress. If 1 out of 3 have spoken, then it means we can definitely get the answer and, of course, the results. If it's not about the results, then I don't know what, again, we're fighting for. If it's the result, we have found 1 out of the 3 founders, and I believe we're getting there where we'll begin to talk about where is the money and how we get the money. Thank you so much, everyone. If there is any other person who wants to, if there's no other person who has something else to say amongst the leadership, I want to say it's been a fruitful meeting so far, and maybe we would see again in the next meetings. But before that, please, like I said, if you have ever wanted the leaders to take a certain approach or to do certain things and they've not done it, it is time for you to take the lead, because since you know of an approach, then it means you can lead in that approach, okay? So join the groups, the legal team, the intelligence team, the communication team. There are certain ways you want us to communicate information, but it's not done that way. There's certain frequency or speed you need us to send out information is not being done. Is because maybe there is a gap somewhere which you can fill. The reason why you have been able to see that gap is because you have the capacity or ability to fill that gap. So you are welcome with your expertise, you are welcome with your information, you are welcome with your connection, you are welcome with your suggestions, and of course, you are welcome with your prayers to help us achieve this common objective of getting our money back. Having said this, I want to say thank you for joining us tonight. Have a wonderful night rest until I meet you again in the groups and, of course, in our next meetings. Have a blessed night.
Please, I want you to say something, please. Hello? Hello? Can I go ahead? Is the meeting over?
Yes, please, Dr. Chinwe, you have the floor.
Okay. So thank you once again. Sorry, I'm dragging everybody back a little bit, but I just want to say to everybody on this call here that we're in this together. Sincerely, I think I'd like to make this very clear to everybody here, because I see a lot of sometimes it's just good to actually say things the way they are, because I've seen a lot of people in my groups. Some of them are saying the leaders are aware of what happened, and I said to you today that the leaders are not in any way aware of what went wrong. Reason being that we're not co-founders, and of course we're not close to that top. I mean, that's hierarchy that you're thinking. Okay, that we're leaders in Nigeria does not make us overall leaders globally. Omega Pro is in over 190 countries of the world. So all the countries are involved in this thing. So it's not just Nigeria alone. It's unfortunate that this has happened. And of course, you agree with me that most of the leaders that you are accusing here, they have their family, they have their father, they have their mother, they have all their close relatives in it. So there's no way anybody, any right-thinking person will gather his or her family members to say, come and join a business that you know is going to collapse or is going to have issue. Okay, so these are the things that happen in reality. So I want us to keep an open mind, okay? Because if you don't have an open mind, you will not be able to appreciate or understand what is going on. So the reality is that the leadership that you're looking at here in Nigeria do not have a hand, do not know what went wrong. And that's the honest truth. So it's left for you to also make your further findings and know if they are in any way, aware or interested or happy that what is going on has gone on. We are as pained as any person here, if not even more pained. Okay, that we are leaders does not mean that we don't feel pain anymore, that we don't feel that our brothers are in trouble. We don't feel that we are also in trouble like every other person. So I want us to know that we're in this together, and we promise that we're going to look at all the necessary strategies to be able to recover our money, because Nigeria is tough already for everybody. And of course, it's biting everyone here. So we need this money like every person also in this call needs this money. And we promise that we're going to do everything. And of course, that's why we're requesting you to remain calm and to also work with us. If you know that expertise that you know that can contribute to making this a success, please bring it to the table. We're open to cooperation, collaboration, ideas, whatever it is, okay? Because the bottom line is to get our money. Thank you so much, and that's just a contribution. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so CDD, please, you can close the meeting then. Thank you so much, sir.
Mr. Tomiwa, you are host. Please end it.